And welcome back to Citi Field, where the tarp is off the field. The grounds crew has done its work. Little light rain continues to fall here and there, but nothing significant. And the Mets and Nationals about set to play baseball. Noah Syndergaard delayed about 35 minutes or so from taking the mound, but he will be heading out momentarily, looking for his 10th win of the year as he matches up tonight against Steven Strasburg in an all-star affair.
Well, you combine their records, they're 20-3, both pitchers combined.
Charged up crowd after a brief rain delay, and Syndergaard about set to get to work. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll only find in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. There's the National starting lineup. And that's made a couple of player moves today. Ryan Zimmerman goes on the DL. They bring up Michael Taylor and Trey Turner, but neither of them is in the lineup tonight. It's the same unit that went last night. Clint Robinson again at first base, filling in for the injured Zimmerman. The Nats put up 7 runs and 12 hits last night, hit 4 home runs, but that was not enough.
You know, Gary, you were mentioning the confluence of numbers that Jacob deGrom had in the day game on Wednesday, his day numbers and his Citi Field numbers. Same here for Syndergaard. 7-1 in his last 10 games, 5-0 in his last 7 games at Citi Field.
Anytime you use the word confluence, I think I'm in Pittsburgh.
I feel so much better about myself.
And those were the Land Rover numbers,
oh,
Ronnie.
Thank you. Sorry.
And the defense for the Mets, brought to you by Alexis. Brandon Nimmo gets his 7th start out in left field. The youngster doing quite a credible job for the Mets. On the infield, I've got to highlight Cabrera here. He made a play in the 9th inning that I think saved the ball game. What a backhand he made. The double play on the interference call. He got it all started. Rene Rivera behind the plate seems to work more in sync with Syndergaard as far as pitch selection. He gets the start tonight.
Lowe's home field advantage. You see what Syndergaard's done in his last 3 starts at home. No walks and 23 strikeouts. He certainly does bring the thunder.
Yes, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Straight from Asgard with thunder in his finger. Well, the last time Syndergaard faced the Nationals, they ran wild, particularly that guy, Ben Revere. He had a huge game against Syndergaard and the Mets that night, and Noah was out after 3 innings, having given up 5 runs and 5 stolen bases. And Rivera is with him tonight to try and mitigate that. But what can Syndergaard do to try and stop the Nats from running wild?
I mean, the obvious one is don't let Ben Revere get 4 hits at some point. But I think that what Noah's got to do moving forward, and starting tonight would be a great time to do it. He's just got to vary what he does. Throw over, step off, hold the ball, quick pitch. Alternate those things so the runners at least don't get a great break and Rivera has a chance.
And the other piece of that is, if they do steal a couple of bases, how does he prevent that from getting in his head and affecting his pitching?
Well, I think that Rivera could do a great job as a veteran of running out there and saying, hey, listen, don't worry about the runner at second base. He's not going to be stealing third. Just give him a look, then concentrate on me.
So Syndergaard set to go, coming off an easy win over the Cubs on Sunday. He allowed just 1 run in 7 innings, got 14 runs of support that day. His first pitch of this game to Ben Revere is outside, and we're underway. 37-minute rain delay at the start. Revere 4 for 8 in his career against Syndergaard, and he's hitting .324 against the Mets this year, much higher than his overall average. And he takes a knee-high strike at 97, 1-1.
Just an absolutely tremendous victory for the Mets last night to get the opening game in this series. This is a nice, another critical game, and what a great matchup.
Popped up, Reyes into foul territory, reaching to make the grab for the first out of the night. Well, that's a new experience for Reyes, playing third base, getting to that railing quickly and making the play.
Piece of cake for Jose. Well done. Oh, look at the kids are all excited.
As well they should be. So 1 out. Now Jason Worth, who was called for the interference play in the 9th inning that created the double play that helped Jerry's Familia put the game to bed and led to a shouting match in the tunnel after the game last night between the crew chief Jim Joyce and the Nationals general manager Mike Rizzo. And Rizzo admitted this afternoon that he got a little bit too upset and that his concern was not just about the call last night, but the fact that that play has been called differently on different occasions.
I just think there's got to be a level of decorum. And here's the play from last night. Worth with the slide to try to break up the double play. There were none out. And after the ruling, there were 2.
Well, what I loved about this was you had the veteran Jim Joyce at second base, and he took charge, and he made the right call according to the rules, the present rules.
Saw something last night that I found interesting. The Tampa Bay Rays could not turn a double play. Why? Albert Pujols did not slide. That might be the new way to stop a double play. Now you might get a ball between the eyes, but what are they going to do? That's not within the rules.
Syndergaard ahead on Worth, 1 and 2, and a tapper at the plate on the slider.
Barely staying in that at bat.
There's Mike Rizzo.
Yeah, I was just saying that, you know, Mike had to regret, you know, just there's got to be some decorum after the game. These umpires were out there 3 hours and 39 minutes. They certainly do not want to get in a shouting match in the tunnel or wherever it happened. There's got to be a different way of being able to approach them.
1-2 coming to Worth, and it's up and in, and that causes Worth to sit down in the batter's box.
Not that close.
Although it is 99.
Not a lot of time to think.
If you have 2 options, I'm bailing too.
Certainly sets up the pitch away, and that's where Rivera sets up. And Syndergaard dots the outside corner for his first strikeout of the night.
Looking for the slider, but you know what? I always felt, Ron, that when a pitcher sets you up for an outside corner pitch and it's a lefty, lefty, righty, righty, and you think it's not going to be a breaking ball, the best pitch is the fastball away.
All good pitchers use the weapon of intimidation. Syndergaard, one of the youngest I've seen in quite a long time.
Well, you heard the reception for Daniel Murphy, which has gotten more vociferous in a negative way with every time Murphy stuns the Mets with another home run. Murphy's had a great season leading the National League in batting, and he's had an even better season against his old team. He's hitting .425 against the Mets, and 5 of his 15 home runs have come against Mets pitching. Mets have the full shift on against Murph. And a good fastball by Syndergaard to get ahead 0-2.
This 747 crowd is a little louder than the 710 one we're used to.
Change up.
Popped it up. Cespedes jogging in to get it. And that retires the side. Syndergaard sets them down 1-2-3 in the opening inning. Mets come to bat with no score. He's at the top of the Geico Mets starting lineup tonight, with the exception of Rivera. Same unit as last night against the right-hander. Mets last night with 9 runs and 15 hits, hit 4 home runs in the first ever 8 home run game at Citi Field.
Well, these are the Toyota numbers, Keith, for Steven Strasburg. He'll be 28 in 12 days. His last 7 starts, he's 5-1, and he's won his last 3.
Missed a couple of weeks on the disabled list with a strain in his upper back. Came back, pitched Sunday in Cincinnati. First start off the DL, carried a no-hitter into the 7th, and was pulled with the no-hitter intact after 6 2/3 on 109 pitches. Reyes 1 for 5 last night at his first home run as a Met since 2011. And he pops this one foul. That'll come back out of play 0-2.
So out of the chute, Strasburg 2 straight heaters to Jose, jumping ahead 0-2.
Well, both Syndergaard and Strasburg, 2 big right-handers. Syndergaard starts kind of in a stretch position. Strasburg just the opposite. He kind of straddles that entire rubber with the wide stance.
And he comes inside to Reyes 1-2.
He's throwing hard too.
Well, Strasburg, like Syndergaard, has taken a step forward in his career by making better use of a slider this year. Pulled down to first, and Robinson on the backhand. And there was that slider from Strasburg for the first out.
And the national defense brought to you by Coors Light. Worth, Revere, Harper in the outfield. Pretty fair outfield, I'd say. And I got to highlight the shortstop here. Espinosa had kind of a mixed bag last night. Made a couple terrific plays and a couple botched plays, but he has really played a terrific shortstop for this national squad. And Ramos only got 1 hit last night, but he had an RBI.
I want to know at what point we update Danny Espinosa's photo. Curtis Granderson takes low and inside. He has been beardless for some time now.
I like his Smith Brothers picture.
That's a good call right
Cherry
there.
flavor. Cherry flavored.
Granderson had a huge night last night. 3 hits, 2 walks, a couple of doubles, on base 5 times in the Mets victory.
Got his average up to 239.
Just so wide, that stance. Tiny step, and then he lets it go.
And he falls behind Granderson 3-0. And it felt like Curtis was 3-0, 3-1 all night last night. And now here he is getting another positive count with Cespedes on deck behind him.
And we know how Granderson likes to hit 3-0.
And that's low ball 4. And Granderson draws a 1-out walk. And if you really want to paint a fine line between Strasburg and Syndergaard, that's one area where Syndergaard has a little bit of advantage. Strasburg doesn't walk that many, but his walk rate is almost twice what Syndergaard's is.
Well, Syndergaard's walk rate is off the hook great. So you'd have to say that Strasburg is more the norm. Syndergaard is just off the charts. He's Kershaw-like.
For someone of his age and experience, it's incredible.
So now Cespedes, who was on base 4 times last night, 2 hits, 2 walks, even stole a base. His average of .303 for the year, 21 home runs, 2nd in the league in slugging percentage. How many people do you think can name who the National League leader in slugging percentage is?
I was going to name the shortstop for St. Louis.
How about the 3rd baseman in Arizona?
Oh, Jake Lamb.
Jake Lamb leads the National League in slugging
Wow.
percentage. And Cespedes is 2nd.
Jake Lamb, 19 doubles, 7 triples, 20 home runs, and 61 runs batted in.
And not on the All-Star team.
Yeah. Well, he has a chance to be voted in.
I think Brandon Belt
that's
won.
right. They already won it.
Vote, yeah.
Brandon took California, they said.
Yes. He deserved to be on. So did the other Brandon from San Francisco. Brandon Crawford deserved to be there.
All fastballs from Strasburg.
Well, there are your National League slugging leaders. Murphy right behind Cespedes. Nolan Arenado after the very fast start has cooled down a little. But Lamb is the big surprise there. Left-hand hitter is really coming into his own. Mets have not played the Diamondbacks yet this year. Overall, Arizona's been such a huge disappointment.
They made a lot of moves that I thought were very, very positive, and they're 11 under 500 and in the cellar in the National League West.
Well,
Greinke's been all right, but not great.
and Shelby Miller's been awful.
Yes.
Both before and after the DL. And of course, they lost A.J. Pollock at the beginning of the year to injury, and that was huge for them. 2-2 to Cespedes. And Strasburg goes up and away in a full count. There's that National League West. The Giants now with the best record in baseball.
And with all their new uniforms and all the marketing ploys, Arizona had a crowd of 14,000 the other night. So
All they've ever had at Chase Field.
Very hideous road uniform.
Well, Strasburg has been striking out the world. We'll see if Terry Collins is inclined to send Granderson here. 3-2 and 1 out.
Why not? Nope.
Not going. And Cespedes strikes out on the fastball. 2 men down.
Well, only 2 breaking balls from the arm of Strasburg thus far in this inning. He's throwing hard, and he's throwing his fastball, going after hitters.
In his first 2 starts against the Mets this year, Strasburg won them both, and he struck out 21 batters in 12 2/3 innings. 2 of his 7 double-digit strikeout games this year.
He's pitched better on the road, Gary, in 6 starts on the road, an ERA of 2.11. It's 5-0, 3.08 at home, and 9 starts.
Neil Walker 2 for 4, drove in a run last night. And that's grounded weakly down to Robinson. He'll take it himself. And that'll do it for the Mets in the bottom of the first. Syndergaard and Strasburg each putting up a 0 in the first. No score. Out as baseball's biggest stars take the field at the 87th All-Star Game, July 12th on Fox. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m.
Oh,
What do we got there?
oh my, boy, I can just see that sitting on my stomach. Oh.
It's very fried.
it's like fried mushrooms, or
Bryce Harper leads off the second. We'll get a full report in a moment.
okay.
Anybody? No.
Woo.
Harper 2 for 5 last night, including his 19th home run of the year. But Jerry's Familia struck him out to end the game.
But he had one mighty blow.
Fourth inning against Cologne.
Fastball up out over the plate. Cologne did not have it last night, and when you hit it dead central up under that black tarp, that's a poke.
Bart had a bad day yesterday, but he sure had a good day today.
Yes, he did.
Named to his 4th All-Star team.
Congratulations.
At age 43. And Harper pops one up. Rivera hoping for a play, but out of room.
Does Terry Collins' name, or does that come from the National League?
That's straight from Terry. That's his choice.
That's a reward for what he's done in his 2+ years here for Terry. Always taking the ball. I'd like to see it. That's why it was. I'm not making the argument, but I would have liked seeing Ichiro in the All-Star game. They took Eduardo Nunez, who's kind of a bench player because Minnesota had to have a player.
Well, Bart's first All-Star game selection was 18 years ago, 1998. Made it in 98, in 05, in 13 with Oakland, and now this year at age 43.
I've just barely got a piece of that one. That is a nasty down slide ball.
Well, that's what Cologne has done this year. His ERA went up last night from 2.87 to 3.28, and I'm sure Terry had decided before that to put him on the team. And there might have been other pitchers who were more worthy, but you know what? I like it. I think it's great. Bart's great for the game, and it's great that he gets to go back to San Diego, the scene of his greatest triumph this year.
Pinch hit performance. Maybe he doesn't get in as a pitcher.
Just remember that his lifetime slugging percentage at Petco Park is .800.
What's his slugging percentage?
1-2 coming. Struck him out. Syndergaard went right back to the slider to get Harper for his 2nd strikeout.
With a slider like that, you don't have to throw it for a strike. You're ahead in the count. See if that spinnerbait gets some fish hooked on there, and that hooked up a nice little Harper right there, chasing it.
You might say he harpooned it.
Oh, it's very good. Avast.
The great whale. Here's Wilson Ramos, the Buffalo.
Reminds me, we mentioned before, has a swing like Andres Galarraga. Very similar.
Over the bag. That's a fair ball going down the line. Chased by Granderson. Ramos will stop at first base. First base runner of the night for the Nationals. A late swing by Ramos. A 1-out single.
I think he was set up away, Gary, looking for a fastball away, and got it.
You know, it's interesting. He's so far off the plate, but he really does stride into the baseball, so he's able to cover that outside corner. Look how far away he is. Oh, that ball came back.
Yeah, it had right down the pipe. He was set up going the other way.
So 1 out and 1 on for Clint Robinson, who figures to get substantial playing time now with Ryan Zimmerman on the disabled list.
Got to be careful with Robinson.
Well, 2 starts back was that start in Washington when Syndergaard got run out of the ballpark, and then he bounced back with a great performance against the Cubs. Good changeup by Syndergaard. 1-1 to Robinson.
It's almost unfair. That's just the perfect spot too, Ron. Sinking.
10 miles an hour difference.
Great look. Great location.
Ramos no threat to run. And Robinson cranks one deep toward the right field corner. Granderson going back, and it's out of here.
Wow. Clint
Robinson with a 2-run homer, his 5th of the year, his 2nd in 2 nights. And the Nationals jump out to the early lead, 2-0. So Robinson filling in for the injured Ryan Zimmerman, who went on the disabled list with a rib cage injury today. He homered last night, and he homers again today.
Very dangerous hitter. Down and in. He got it inside, Ron, but it's in the wheelhouse of Robinson.
Only the 6th home run Syndergaard's allowed this year in 103 innings.
This is a very hard-fought, competitive series here. These 2 teams.
Well, we saw 8 home runs last night. There's the first long ball of this game. Here's Anthony Rendon taking a fastball outside.
Well, there's the swing. Very little take back. And lefties always like to drop the barrel down, don't they, Ronnie?
Isn't it amazing? Zimmerman's out of this series, and Robinson comes in, and Zimmerman hadn't done anything against the Mets. Is that a fastball, guys? He threw in that home run inside?
Yep.
What number did it have?
98.
Oh. Turns on a 98.
Rendon 2 for 4 last night. Hit his 9th home run of the year. He's been hot. And that's a borderline strike. 1-2. Will be Basner, the young home plate umpire tonight.
9 home runs in this series thus far. Incredible.
Dusty Baker's team starts the night with a 3-game lead over the Mets. And these games, every one of them is important, and they're important to both teams.
And the game last night was a seesaw affair. The Mets coming from behind, of course, and they're the standings right now. Miami just kind of hanging around. I don't know if they have the pitching. I just thinking that when it all comes down to the wire, it's going to be between New York and Washington, and it's how the game was played last night. These two teams are really competitive, playing with a lot of spirit and fire.
Too high, and Rendon's on with a walk, so 3 straight base runners against Syndergaard. Well, the Nats have won 6 of the first 10 from the Mets this year.
Well, they split series as home and away. The Nats came here and won a series at City. The Mets went there the first time and took the series. And then, of course, they got swept the last time there. And now this is the fourth time they've played each other.
I was going to say that I think tonight's game is probably of a little more importance to the Mets. With Matt Harvey now out for the season, Logan Verrett takes a spot in the rotation. You got Verrett pitching against Max Scherzer tomorrow night. If the Mets don't win with Syndergaard tonight, it's going to be hard for them to win this series, which certainly was their goal coming in, to win 3 of 4. Espinosa flies one down the left field line, and that'll go foul out of play.
But Scherzer has shown signs of that he can be had. He's got long ball-itis. I mean, he can give up that long ball the way the ball's been traveling.
City probables. You got the 2 lefties going Sunday, Steven Matz and the struggling Gio Gonzalez.
You know, we were talking about stolen bases. It's not the guys that can fly that are the problem. Syndergaard, they're going to steal bases, but Rendon and others, they're brought into a chance to steal bases also.
Rendon's got 9 this year.
Caught 5 times, but nonetheless, he was one of the culprits that pilfered a few bases, those 6 stolen bases.
So now he's thrown over. Now he should hold the ball for 2 or 3 counts and then proceed to the plate. Next time, quick pitch. Just change it every time.
Healthy lead for Rendon. The pitch is high to Espinosa, 1-1.
Well, I'm looking at the scoreboard in center field, and I see looks like Jim Bridger or Kit Carson up there.
How about Jim Kern?
Looks like he belongs on Duck Dynasty. Danny's a Long Beach State guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he has any regrets about being that guy in the photo? I mean, all of us have had our, you know, facial hair or other mistakes that we've made over the years. I hate for them to live forever. And a high strike. 1-2.
Okay, Toby Basner, the young umpire behind the plate, has showed a consistency, a tendency to call that letter high strike. The high ball umpire.
Rivera stole that pitch.
One and 2 to Espinosa with Strasburg on deck. Rendon's made no move to run during this at bat. Hands away at 98. 2-2 to Espinosa. room indeed.
Early.
Enthusiastic Friday night crowd on hand. Sat through a 37-minute rain delay at the start. Syndergaard trying to work through a rough inning. And Espinosa fouls it back at 99.
Keith, in our day, Friday night games were 8:05. And if the Mets were playing the Phillies, we used to call it Friday night at the fights, because at some point in the upper tank there would be a fight between fans that literally all the players would get up from their seat and watch for a while.
And the only 8 o'clock start in the National League was the Mets back in the day. It was always 7:30s.
If you go back far enough, the Mets used to start all their night games at 8 o'clock.
And I can go back far enough. I remember.
Of course, those days you played 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Back in the city by 11 o'clock here.
And the curveball gets Espinosa looking. Beautiful hook by Syndergaard. First one he's thrown tonight, and his third strikeout.
That's the backdoor hook. He throws so doggone hard. I love it down and in, but he can get away with it on the outside corner if he drops a little off speed on that curveball on the outside corner. That's a tough pitch for a left-hander.
Here's Strasburg, who has 5 hits this year, lifetime 145 hitter. By the way, Syndergaard walking Rendon in this inning. Noah, in his last 7 starts at Citi Field, had not walked a single batter. He had no walks and 49 strikeouts in his last 7 home starts before he walked Rendon.
I was right when I said it was Kershaw-like.
Well, he's now got 16 walks and 126 strikeouts for the year. And if you go back the entirety of Noah's career, 40 starts, he's got more strikeouts and fewer walks than any pitcher in history through 40 starts. Most strikeouts with that few walks. 1-2 to Strasburg. 47 walks, 293 strikeouts now in his career, if you include tonight. That's just phenomenal. I mean, it reminds me of Brett Saberhagen, but you know, when we watched Saberhagen here, he was a veteran pitcher, not a guy in his first full season.
Sabes was always good though with control, even when he was a 19-year-old. But I get what you're saying. Best ever always counts.
1-2, struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Syndergaard, but in between, Clint Robinson hits a 2-run homer. Robinson puts the Nats in front with his 5th of the year, his 2nd in 2 nights. Strasburg and the Nats take to a 2-0 lead. Sunday on Jets Nation, Mike Westhoff talks with the new Jets special teams coordinator Brad Boyer. Find out about the big change he wants to make to his group, plus how Sheldon Richardson's suspension will impact the team on Jets Nation Sunday at 7, only on SNY. Well, Steven Strasburg, who was 11-0 to start the season, first National League starting pitcher since Andy Hawkins in 1985 for San Diego to start the year 11-0.
I remember that year Andy Hawkins got off to that start.
He got off to more than 11, didn't Andy? I thought he went. I guess the notes are right. I thought he went like 13 or 14-0 to start the season.
You may be right. Since then, there have been 3 pitchers start out 11-0 or better, all in the American League. Max Scherzer did it with the Tigers most recently. He started 13-0 in 2013. Roger Clemens with the Blue Jays in '97, and Clay Buchholz in 2013 with the Red Sox.
Andy Hawkins' scouting report used to throw across his body a little cutter in on you, Keith, and a big overhand hook, right?
Yeah, he painted it, but the year he had the good year, he painted that outside corner knees. He forced him to get closer to the plate. I remember.
James Loney leading off in the home second. Loney 1 for 3, drove in a run last night.
He wasn't an overpowering pitcher, though. He had above average fastball.
Yeah.
He just had great command that year.
Didn't Hawkins pitch that game for the Yankees where he pitched an 8-inning no-hitter and lost 4-0, which is almost impossible to do against the White Sox?
The White Sox, exactly. Joe Cowley had one of those games also.
But he didn't lose, did he?
I think he won.
I think he walked about 9. A great slider in at the feet of Loney, and Strasburg has his second strikeout. There's Dribble Cabrera coming up, and as valuable as his bat has been, the wonderful part of Dribble's game has been his defense. A lot of the scouts didn't feel as though he could play shortstop every day in the big leagues anymore, but he has done it remarkably well for the Mets. Great hands, great feet. He has just been the entire package defensively.
A worthy tribute.
Curveball by Strasburg to start him off.
You think about the joys of watching this ball club. He's certainly been one of them in the first half, hasn't he, Cabrera?
I got to feel he's healthy. Oh, very, very 2 back-to-back. Not back-to-back. Cutters or sliders, whatever you want to say, Gary. Very effective to left-hand hitters, and he's locating.
Slider's a relatively new pitch for Strasburg. Used to be a fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher exclusively.
It's a difficult pitch to lay off. It's that cutter, and you can see the spin. It's got a little circular spin. Oh, good breaking ball in the dirt.
So the curveball gets Cabrera, and that's the second out.
When you got someone that's throwing 90 plus, and this is a curveball, not a cutter, and he started out in that inner half of the plate as a left-hand hitter, and then it starts breaking, and it breaks late, and then it's going to, it's going to break 4 inches off the plate. With the velocity, it's a very, very difficult pitch to lay off a left-hand hitter. The Montreal staff comes to mind for me. Don Gullickson, Charlie Lee, David Palmer. They all had that. And with Carter behind the plate, that's all Carter called, was that he kept pounding that cutter inside, inside, inside. And as a hitter, you don't want to. You saw where Loney struck out that bad one. You saw Cabrera go after a bad one. It puts you kind of on the defensive as a hitter because it's coming in so fast. I've got to wait that split second longer to see where the pitch is coming a little bit deeper, and that makes you vulnerable inside. It's a very effective pitch.
No one goes to the backstop. Ball and a strike to Brandon Nimmo.
I mean, look what Mariano did with that pitch to left-hand hitters.
As a pitcher, what you're trying to do is left-handers love the ball down and in. So what you do is you try to give them something that has the appearance that it's going to be down and in, and then before they know it, it's out of that zone.
Yep.
Change up away, 2-1, but Talk to me, Ronnie, about a pitcher having a new weapon and how he incorporates that into his game.
The most difficult part when you get a lot of instant success from a new weapon, because it's not known by the hitters, is you don't rely on it and throw it too often.
And the rolls one out to Murphy. And that retires the side. So Strasburg with the lead for the first time sets the Mets down 1-2-3. 2-0 Nats after 2. Tables on SNY's Steve Gelbs on an all-new episode of SNY.TV's digital series, The Amazing Life, presented by Coca-Cola. Check it out now on SNY.TV/Coca-Cola.
It's good to have dreams.
He's got his hammer. He's got his blonde wig.
It's a little long.
Set for the night.
A little long in the tooth for that, though.
Ben Revere goes after a changeup as we start the third inning. Revere fouled out to third base his first time up.
Nova's got that changeup working.
Syndergaard's third start against the Nats this year. First one went much better than the one in D.C. recently. Through 7 scoreless innings and a 2-0 win back on May 17th here at Citi Field.
Very voyeur. I feel like I'm.
Revere lifts one to center, and Cespedes coming on and sliding, and makes the catch, and then survives Cabrera going over his shoulder.
It's like, get out of my way. That's Drupal.
Cespedes was charging hard all the way and yelling for it.
Yes, he was.
I thought he was too big to fit through the 5-hole, but I guess he's not.
Cabrera did not.
He didn't account for the hydroplaning.
He's not winning the dance contest. Nice play.
Rest a little bit slick after the rain delay. Cespedes went a little further than Cabrera thought he would. So one out now, Jason Worth, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Worth now 0 for 5 in this series. line into center field. Cespedes coming on, but will have to play this one on a hop. And Worth has a 1-out hit. Third hit for the Nats against Noah Syndergaard.
It's good hitting by Worth. Not an easy pitch. Slider away, Keith.
Didn't get it away enough, but still not a bad pitch. Towards the end of the bat. Not that bad a pitch. Worth with only 2 stolen bases, but he's a threat.
Well, you know he's thinking about it with Syndergaard on the mound. Danny Murphy at the plate, flied out to center field his first time up. And Murphy takes a knee-high strike with a changeup. Make sure that he turned to say hi, Mr. Bassner. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Agreed. Chad Fairchild with the call.
Sorry, Gary. Murph's always been good at this. That's why he's a good hitter. Clearly didn't swing.
Worth aboard with 1 out. Takes the fastball away. 2-1.
I'm trying to think of really the first teammate that I had to face that was real dangerous. I'd have to say it was Kevin Mitchell when his MVP year with the San Francisco Giants. He stood right on that dish, and I really liked Kevin Mitchell a lot. But you have to get that out of your mind first.
That just missed somewhere.
And the first time I faced him, I had to, just to get my own mind out of it. I came up and in hard on Mitch, just to, you know, we'll be friends once the game's over, but certainly not right now.
Didn't want him charging the mound, though.
No, well, I had you. That's why I had you.
He'll do what he did to Sammy Khalifa in Pittsburgh.
That was illegal, or should have been.
Well, last night Antonio Bastardo, who was not Murphy's ex-teammate, went up and in on him inadvertently, and then Murph took him deep.
Next pitch.
Yep. Syndergaard behind on Murphy. 3-1. And Daniel lines one toward left center. Chasing back is Cespedes, back in the gap, but he won't get there. It short hops the wall. It bounces away from Cespedes. That will enable Worth to score easily. Murphy with an RBI double just keeps on raking against his old team. And the Nats now have a 3-0 lead.
Well, Murph just having a terrific year. And remember, when he first came up, he used left center field. You're ahead in the count. A pitcher always feels safe on the outside corner. And then you're ahead in the count. If you don't need a home run or you're not a home run hitter, if you see Worth gets a good read on it, excellent base running. He's an excellent base runner. Use that opposite field. Get that fastball away and drive it into the opposite field gap. That's a strength of Murph's.
.60 RBIs now for Murphy. A full quarter of them have come against the Mets.
Whoa.
So now it's 3-0 Washington. Murphy in scoring position. Bryce Harper at the plate.
You know, it was interesting there. We sit right behind the plate. We could see that ball when it left Murphy's bat. When he hits it in the gap, it has a little slice on it. And at the beginning, it looked like Cespedes might have a chance to run it down, but it kept slicing away from him just enough.
The ball was stroked. Yeah, that was one hop the wall in the opposite field gap. This is such an important series and such an important game here that don't go up there looking for the big headline or you hit the 2-run home run that blew the game open. You can just keep the assembly line going. That just chip away, a double in the gap.
Push the pitch count up.
And from the Nats perspective, the way Strasburg has been pitching, they have to feel fairly confident if they can just put up a few runs they might be in pretty good shape.
Well, the way, since he lost to the Mets last September 9th, I mean, they just feel like every time he goes out there, it's almost an automatic win.
14 straight decisions since his last 3 last year and his first 11 this year. 1-1 to Harper. And he pops one foul. Reyes will take a look, but that'll be back in the crowd.
Nope, there's Murph right there driving that ball in the opposite field gap.
So I shouldn't have said slice. It was more like a 15-foot cut.
That was struck well. That is a nice stroke right there, hitting it where it's pitched.
Fade right to left.
Yeah, 15-foot fade, Gary. Nicholas used to always play that shot.
Trevino.
I don't know anything about golf, but I love hearing you talk about it. Syndergaard ahead 1-2, and he goes away to Harper 2-2.
He's missing that fastball on the outside part of the plate. Murph right on top of the plate. This is a great angle. Look, he hits it right up at the plate. It's really the only pitch that you hit almost like a golf ball when you set up on a golf ball. The ball in the outside corner. You get it deep, and as they say, deep. Let it come deep.
Changeup misses to Harper at 3-2.
See, I never thought in terms of let it come deep or let it travel. It just was the way you hit the outside pitch. I didn't give it terminology.
Harper rockets one foul. But you know,
oh, that ball found you. Yes,
you know, keep talking about, Murph letting the ball get deep. That's the way he describes it.
Of course.
Because when Murph talks about hitting, he always used to talk about letting the ball get deep. The interesting thing is, now that he's up on the plate and looking to pull more,
exactly,
not letting the ball get deep as much.
He struck out once somewhere on the road, and I said, you let that ball get deep, didn't you? Go right into the catcher's mitt.
After that very loud foul ball, Rene Rivera out to talk to Syndergaard.
Yeah, the breaking pitch for a strike, middle of the plate in, it's not a good pitch for Harper, because what Keith has described, he has the ability to handle anything soft on the inside part of the plate.
I just think Harper's looking just to be a dead pull hitter and he's always trying to jack it out of the park.
Again, the 3-2, and Harper takes the changeup for ball 4. And there's the second walk given up by Syndergaard.
Oh, he got hit. It was a heat-seeking missile. Yeah, that's right. That ball bite.
I mean, that's 300 feet plus away from home plate that ball hit.
They always tell you don't rub it. You don't want anyone to see you rub it.
Never let a pitcher know he hurt you. Never.
How about a hitter?
I didn't know Zac Efron came to the games.
Dan Worthing out to talk to Syndergaard. He's given up 3 runs and 4 hits over the first 2 1/3. And a rarity is walked a couple. So now Wilson Ramos, who took one over the first base bag for a base hit his first time up.
A little rough sledding here for Noah. Had a terrific first inning, and now he's lost a little bit of his command, and it's because the Nationals are putting some good at-bats together and taking him out of his rhythm.
Murphy at second, Harper at first with 1 out. And a double play ball right at Cabrera. The turn by Walker, and the Mets turn the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Nats tack on a run. Mets down 3-0 as they come to bat in the 3rd. A fan of Thor, complete with hammer.
A little more appropriate.
Decided to go without the blonde wig too. People's United Bank brings you tonight's starters. Season numbers for Stephen Strasburg and Noah Syndergaard. And as you can see from those numbers, both very all-star game worthy.
Well, Strasburg gives up less hits per innings pitched. That's why their whips are about the same.
Rene Rivera will lead off against Strasburg in the third. Rivera getting the start tonight with Syndergaard on the mound. That's become a regular occurrence now.
Didn't get to see it live, but Rene's last start, he had some kind of offensive game, didn't he? Got Johnny Lester.
Boy, Lester got his lunch that game.
Popped up into shallow center, and Revere comes in to get it. 1 out. Well, Strasburg went 6 2/3 in his last start against the Reds and didn't allow a hit. He's now gone 2 1/3 in this game without allowing a hit. That makes 9. Does that count?
I tell you what, Strasburg's throwing hard.
Means his upper back is not hurting anymore.
It's the best I've seen him throw.
Well, that's what makes it a little curious, the Nats' decision, along with Strasburg, that he not pitch in the All-Star game on Tuesday.
Especially since he went to school there and is from there in San Diego.
You know, I was thinking that would be a perfect thing for Strasburg to start the All-Star game in San Diego as he strikes out Syndergaard for his 4th strikeout. But I guess, you know, it's coming down to Syndergaard or maybe Johnny Cueto.
Yeah.
Cueto.
I mean, Arrieta is getting hit hard again tonight. He's certainly taken a step backwards. Bumgarner's out of it because he's pitching Sunday. Kershaw's on the DL. Jose Fernandez, I guess, is a candidate. He's pitching tonight.
Good call.
What's on the graphic?
You know,
you're just trying to stay one step ahead of you.
See, I've always been told by Bill Webb to watch the monitor.
And often you listen. Reyes grounded out to first base his first trip.
That's the first little cutter slider he missed with. Got underneath it. You're right, Keith.
Yes, that went in for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Little back door.
Last time I saw a cutter slider used that effectively was when Roy Halladay was at his best. He used to be able to use that on the outside and inside corner to lefties with perfection.
Three and 2 to Reyes. And the curveball in there, strike 3 call.
That's pretty wicked.
Strasburg right on top of his game. He's got 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. And he throws Reyes with the curve. After 3-0 Nationals. Verizon trivia question. Who holds the franchise record, Washington, Montreal, for batting average in a single season? Montreal, Washington batting average. Well, Bryce Harper hit .330 last year, right?
He did, but didn't Ron LaFleur hit .356 or some high average from Montreal?
By Larry Walker.
Larry Walker, good call too. I thought he did in Colorado.
Juan Lagares has come into play center field, so Yoenis Cespedes is out of this game. And we're going to have to find out exactly what has transpired. And Ronnie, you said you might have seen something when he played that Murphy double.
Yeah, he leaped forward off the wall and went over his head. And then I just noticed in center field, he was pounding his fist against his quad, his front of his leg, like trying to get it restarted or something.
Well, let's watch this, see if we can pick it up. Runs after the ball, then he jumps for it as it comes off the wall, and he stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
But Robinson takes a strike.
You know, when you land in that dirt, it's different than landing on the grass. You know, your spikes don't always take.
They come out from under you.
Yeah.
Leadoff walk to Robinson, and that's 3 walks for Syndergaard, which matches his season worst. He had a 3-walk game against the Nats in that 3-inning stint, 2 starts back, and that's the only other game where he's walked 3 batters.
3-1 change up to Robinson there because Robinson hit a 2-run home run off his fastball.
So things not going well for Syndergaard against the Nats for a 2nd straight time. And now he faces Rendon, whom he walked first time. Well, you got it right, Ronnie. They say Cespedes left with a strained right quad. So, of course, that bears watching because, well, not only is Cespedes the Mets' most important player, but he's also scheduled to start in the All-Star game Tuesday.
Well, you know, I mean, personally, I don't care about the All-Star game. More important that you almost have to keep him out the next 2 games and get him that complete week's rest. What do you think, Keith?
I think that you've got to be very, very careful. Let's let him. We'll see how severe it is, how he feels tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, goes without saying, any day that Cespedes has to miss, the Mets offense is compromised. Had a couple of minor hurts earlier this year that have kept him out for a few days at a time. Rendon fouls off the 98-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. The Mets offense on this homestand has been cooking. 22 home runs in the first 7 games, or first 8 games, which has already set a new record for most home runs by the Mets on any homestand of any length in their history.
Already
through the first 8 games, and they have this one and 2 more. Now bounces away from Rivera, taken off for second. Robinson, and he is safe. Nice recovery by Rivera, who's got a very strong arm, but Robinson with aggressive base running able to get to second on the wild pitch.
Well, everybody's on point in this game. Good heads up base running by Robinson. I think the tag was high because it was a little bit up. Yep, he got in. The thigh-high tag.
Mets are going to challenge the call.
Yeah, because he stayed with him and watch his right foot. It comes off the bag.
But was the left foot on the bag when the right came off?
No, it wasn't. He had the tag on him. The left foot is not on there yet. Stay with him.
It's hard to tell right there.
Yeah, it is. Lift that foot. It's not there.
It's hard to overturn that that angle. And this is another just a poor slide. You can't come off.
Yep, you're right.
He's out.
Ronnie, that left foot had not gotten. That was a definitive angle. Left foot had not gotten to the bag when the right leg was in the air and the tag was still on him. So this should be overturned.
He should be out for just a bad slide.
Play under review brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters.
Got to get the sliding pads on and get them out in the outfield grass and do some sliding practice.
Jim Joyce, the crew chief, and Marvin Hudson, who made the call on the headsets. Back in the bunker in Chelsea, Gary Cederstrom's crew and Jeff Kellogg's crew are there this week.
Well, if this goes the Mets' way, it's a payment for the hustle by Rivera.
And all you kids out there, when you make a tag like this, keep. Well, he left. He did not keep the tag there. You want to keep the glove on the guy sliding. He might not. He may have brought the glove up.
So,
that's a toughie.
So was the tag still on him when the leg was
right
in the bag? That's going to be the definitive piece of it. Can't tell from that.
All right, well let's make a Custer decision here.
Tag is on. The leg comes up.
Oh,
still on him at that point.
See if you keep the glove on the body.
Now we've seen it 8, 9, 10 times, and we've had yes, no, no, yes.
Which is probably what they're doing in Chelsea too.
Exactly.
Which is why it takes so long. And they overturn the call, so the Mets have that one go their way.
Hustle of Rivera.
It's a terrific play by Rivera, who just threw a seed to second as he spun around. So it's a 2-4, no caught stealing. But just from the point of view of the evidence you need to overturn a call, was that clear and convincing?
Well, after my tirade last night, I'm not getting involved today. I went home. I couldn't sleep. It took me an hour and a half to go to bed. So I'm not going there tonight.
I don't understand. You were just too hot?
Spanish.
Your blood was up? I don't know. Between the two of you, I thought Ronnie was the angrier one last night.
Really?
He had that look on it. He had that Luis Castillo drop the pop-up look on his face. Inside, and that came off the bat of Rendon.
Well, I think it hit the end of the knob of his bat. Let's see.
I think you're right. And better your knob than your wrist. With a guy throwing that hard.
Cabrera circles in to play it. Perfect throw to get Rendon 2 out.
When I used to play in the American League, I used to always marvel at Alan Trammell. Every throw to first base was perfect, letter high. Cabrera's throws are pretty perfect.
For me, it was Ozzie Smith always put it right on target for me. Made my job easy.
Here's Danny Espinosa with 2 out, nobody on. Well, I know that the folks who try and put together defensive metrics are working hard every day to perfect those. But I would admonish anybody who's trying to get evidence about who's a good and who's a bad defensive player from defensive metrics to look at them with a grain of salt. Because the defensive metrics do not love Asdrubal Cabrera, but the eye test, he passes the eye test. And there will be a time when defensive metrics are better. I think with all the StatCast information, they're going to improve over time, but they're not there yet.
There's still certain players that you have to watch every day to appreciate.
0-2 to Espinosa.
Got him.
Strikeout number 5 for Syndergaard. Helped out by Rene Rivera's fine throw. Syndergaard faces just 3 hitters in the 4th inning. Still 3-0 Nats. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Curtis Granderson leading off for New York. Steve Gelbs has the night off. Doug Williams is roving. Doug, hi.
Hi, Gary. Good to see you in person, not necessarily through Twitter. But Curtis Granderson now batting second with Jose Reyes his addition to the lineup. And Granderson, small sample size, but is hitting .467 in the 2-hole. And I talked to Grandy about it before the game, necessarily what changes with him in the 2-hole. He'll tell you, I've batted everywhere in the lineup in his time in Detroit, his time with the Yankees, and now with the Mets. He said, I've batted pretty much everywhere. It seems to us he's a mainstay in the leadoff spot, but he's really necessarily hit everywhere in the lineup. He did say he does enjoy watching someone hit above him in terms of that first leadoff in the top or the bottom of the first inning, so he can get a look at the pitcher, not necessarily be the guinea pig. But I wanted to ask you, Keith, do you think approaches change for hitters necessary in terms of when they're batting in the lineup in their 1-hole, the 2-hole, or the 3-hole, or does the spot in the lineup kind of make the change for you and the situation forces your hand?
Well, it's a tough question because if you're, to me, your 1-2 hitters are your table setters. So Granderson's not a hit and run guy. I don't think it has any effect on him and change his style moving from 1 to 2. If he was going to go into an RBI spot and ball 4 to Granderson to lead off the 4th, if he was to go to an RBI spot, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, then you might change it might change you a little bit more. But right now, it's pretty much with him and hitting in the 2nd hole, Curtis. There's no difference. He's trying to get on base, set it up for the big guys.
Doug's report tonight was brought to you by Jeep. Granderson, 2 walks tonight, has now reached base 9 of his last 11 plate appearances. Juan Lagares took Cespedes' spot. Cespedes came out with a strained quad. So Lagares in there against Strasburg and takes inside for ball 1.
Curtis in the 2-hole primarily for the 2011 Yankees. 136 runs scored, 26 doubles, 10 triples, 41 home runs, and 119 runs batted in.
That's a good year.
Yeah, very good.
119 RBIs batting second.
136 runs scored.
Lagares got 1 plate appearance last night and drew a walk in the 7th inning. Granderson at first and nobody out. Mets down 3-0 in the 4th. And Lagares trying to bunt for a hit, but fouls it off.
Just a little bit foul.
He tries to bunt for hits a lot.
He does.
Hasn't been very successful at it.
Well, you know what they tell you, if you're going to bunt for a base hit, if it's either a perfect one or foul. You don't want to bunt back to the pitcher or bunt it too hard to the third baseman. So, but it's interesting. Cespedes out of the game. Lagares in, attempting a bunt. Down 3.
Neil Walker waiting on deck. Strasburg has already struck out 5 tonight. And a broken bat liner. Espinosa grabs it, and Granderson back to the bag. And I think Espinosa's kicking himself a little bit, thinking maybe I should have let that ball drop in front of me.
If Lagares ran to first base, it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have had any effect.
And the catcher Wilson Ramos got hit by the broken bat.
He gets jammed here. Big time. Oh, right in the rib. Oh. He went down, too.
Well, it's nothing.
I was lucky to get speared.
Nothing Lagares could do about that bat just snapping in half and just sailing into an unprotected area for Ramos to the side of that chest protector.
Baker gives him a pat. Ramos is tough.
It's hard to hurt a Buffalo.
You know, when I said Lagares is bunting, I wasn't criticizing him. He's a different kind of player. It just shows you, the drop off offensively when Lagares takes Cespedes' place.
Well, Strasburg has now worked 10 consecutive hitless innings. 6 2/3 in his last start against the Reds. 3 1/3 tonight. Now Neil Walker grounded out to first base his first trip on the first pitch he saw from Strasburg. Takes a slider for a strike.
Watch the home plate umpire.
Tries to catch him as Ramos falls. He knows it could have been him as well.
Caught him and at the same time made sure he kept his eye on the field of play.
That is Toby Basner, who I think is calling a very fine game behind home plate. I just think the rules are terrific from the beginning of this game. It's the letters and the knees, and he's been very consistent. You would call him a pitcher's umpire.
Granderson at first and 1 out. And Walker pops one foul. 1-2.
Well, Strasburg gets in a beautiful position of power from the stretch. Not a big leg kick, kind of drops and drives. And the effort he puts into each and every pitch is almost 100%.
Now, he has not given up a stolen base all year. How is he able to control the running game?
He doesn't raise his leg at all.
Yep.
He just picks it up and puts it down in front of him.
Very quick home.
One-two coming, and Walker turns on it down the line, but it's hooking, and it goes foul.
In fact, for Noah this winter, that'd be great homework, wouldn't it? Watch Strasburg, who's similar to him, a power pitcher, and see how he delivers the ball to the plate so quickly.
Well, he got the head through, but the ball was up and in.
Now, Granderson trying to Carlton Fisk it.
Needed Dick Stockton here.
If it stays fair.
And a changeup gets him. Strasburg with his 6th strikeout.
After he pulls a fastball up and in, Gary, he drops a 12-6 on him on the outside corner. Strasburg just looks like he's just effortless out there.
A lot of the deception for Strasburg is that before he delivers the ball, comes out of his hand, you have no idea what pitch is coming. He exerts the same amount of energy on his fastball as he does on his curve, slider, and changeup.
So after the leadoff walk to Granderson, he's still at first with 2 out. And now Loney, who struck out his first time up. Powerful on the ground, 0-1. Hitting .284, right at his career average. He's done exactly what the Mets hoped he would.
35 games in the Mets uniform. He's reached base safely 29 times. Pretty impressive.
Strasburg tonight going for his 66th career victory. Only one Nationals pitcher has won more games in a Washington uniform, and that was Jordan Zimmerman, who's won 70. And Strasburg is about to turn 28 years old and is going to be around for a long time because he just signed this spring a 7-year $175 million contract extension that kicks in next year.
Ka-ching.
Well, the Cubs have come back and tied that game against the Pirates on the 6th. 3-3.
After Jake Arrieta fell behind early.
Mike Rizzo, the general manager. of the Nationals. Everybody's on point here. They know the importance of this series. Dusty Baker, manager of the Nationals.
Here goes Granderson. A little chopper. Espinosa comes in to get it. And throws out Lorne to end the inning. So a leadoff walk. Strasburg shrugs his shoulders. Still hasn't given up a hit. 10 2/3 consecutive hitless innings. Still 3-0 Nats. Tri-State Ford dealers who invite you to test drive a new Ford. You'll discover why Ford is the total package.
Nice overhead shot of the ballpark. The perfectly geometrical dimensions of the baseball diamond. I love it. Sorry, I got a little poetic there.
You did.
Wax poetic.
Angry last night, and you're just so.
Hey, I'm not getting involved. I've got an off day tomorrow. All of us. I want to have a nice day tomorrow.
Strasburg gets the first pitch to Neil Walker. Down to Anita play it. 1 pitch and 1 out for Syndergaard in the 5th. Well, Noah had a rough go of it in the 2nd. He gave up a 2-run homer to Clint Robinson, and Daniel Murphy an RBI double in the 3rd. Trying his best to keep the Mets as close as he can, with Strasburg at the top of his game on the other side. Noah's heading to his first All-Star game, and Terry Collins will not give away who he intends to start on the mound on Tuesday night in San Diego, but he said definitely that Noah's going to pitch in that game. Want to make sure that anybody in the country who hasn't seen him gets a chance to see him. Of course, they probably saw him in the World Series last October, but you get the point. Dan Revere is 0 for 2, and another ground ball for Walker, and quickly Syndergaard has 2 outs in the 5th. So Noah, who threw a lot of pitches in the first 3 innings, 57 through 3. And has a chance to get through the 5th in pretty good shape.
You know, I was thinking that of all the guys we had listed, Arrieta, Cueto, Fernandez, I was thinking the real starting pitcher that you could use as a weapon out of the bullpen to stem a inning would be Noah, because he did it in the post. Come in and throw 105 or whatever.
And he's done it once this year already. Jason Worth takes a strike. Worth is 1 for 2, single to center, scored a run in the 3rd. On the corner. 0-2.
Considering how hot it was today, it's just perfect out to play a ball game.
Had a little bit of rain, little thunder showers, and it just cooled things off.
37-minute rain delay at the start before we got going tonight. Oh-2 to Worth. And he lays off. By the way, speaking of candidates to start the All-Star game, Jose Fernandez, his usual Marlins Park self tonight. 7 innings, 6 hits, an unearned run, no walks, 8 strikeouts. And that 3-1 lead in the 8th holds up. He'll be 25-1 lifetime at home. Just inside to Worth, 2-2. Imagine that.
Wow.
Interesting. Rivera came out to talk to Syndergaard. I saw on a pitch that Syndergaard threw, he was really frustrated with Worth stepping out a couple of times, almost like he was getting a little angry. Maybe that's why Rivera went out and calmed him down, and here comes Cabrera to come talk to him.
Meanwhile, Worth was in deep conversation with Toby Basner, the home plate umpire, and now the Mets assistant trainer Brian Chiclo is coming out with Terry Collins, and Syndergaard looks a little perturbed about that.
This is when you wish you were a lip reader.
I was here no a lot, so that's usually a good sign.
Think what we can bring to the broadcast if we can lip read. I get the feeling he says I'm fine. And as a manager, you're probably saying, now come on, don't be a hero, tell me the truth.
Well,
pitchers never tell the truth usually.
Well, he didn't want to tell the truth, but he had to after the whole world found out about the bone spur in his elbow, and of course that is the backdrop to all this.
Terry's talking to the umpire now,
taking him out.
He's coming out.
Every day, it seems like there's something going on with these young arms.
Already today, the Mets have announced that Matt Harvey's undergoing surgery for a thoracic outlet syndrome. He's out for the year. Yoenis Cespedes has come out of the game with a thigh injury, and now Noah Syndergaard is coming out of the game prematurely in the 5th inning. And we'll wait to hear word on why.
Rivera noticed it, and I did not see anything.
Well, his velocity was a little down. He threw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball earlier in this inning, and that certainly is not the normal Syndergaard velocity.
Well, the catcher will be able to hear a sound from the pitcher. He'll be able to see a wince if there's one, especially a veteran hind stopper like Rivera.
Here's the last pitch.
See Rivera give a little look over to the dugout before he went out.
Yeah, it's almost like they came from the bench.
Yeah, see, that's the wince I was talking about.
Well, Seth Lugo, who was called up yesterday when Matt Harvey went on the disabled list, will get the call here for his 2nd major league appearance. And he'll get as long as he needs to warm up. So we'll take as long as we need to throw it to break. The call to the bullpen. It's brought to you by Verizon. Seth Lugo made his big league debut a week ago tonight. Got sent back to the minor leagues, recalled yesterday, and now in for Noah Syndergaard, who has left the game because of apparent injury. This is 2 pitches before his last one.
Just watch him. Tugs up his pants. Just looks a little uncomfortable. And then steps off the mound. I mean, Terry Collins at some point can't even believe it.
Now, Terry just came out to the home plate umpire, I think, to ask if he can make a double switch, since he did not initially make the double switch. Now, normally you need to tell the umpire before the new pitcher comes to the mound. And we'll see whether Dusty Baker has some kind of argument about this, but Terry, after the fact, is going to make it a double switch and bring Wilmer Flores in to play first base. And normally you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if there's a different kind of a rule when there's an injured pitcher involved. But Flores will go in the 9 hole. The pitcher will go in the 5 spot as Loney comes out of the game. Well, this was the conversation between Terry and Dan Warthen just after Syndergaard came out of the game. And again, you know, the backdrop is that Noah has this bone spur in his elbow that he's downplayed, and the Mets have said it's a relatively small one, not that big a deal, and we have no idea if this has anything to do with that.
Well, Terry Collins was addressing Mats today and saying, you know, there's going to be a time when it might flare up a little bit within a game. So I don't know if that's what happened for Noah. We certainly don't know anything. But anytime you're lifting a starting pitcher out of the game in the 5th inning, your best starting pitcher this year, after you've announced that one of your great young arms is going to have surgery, it's just been an everyday occurrence. So whether it's bone spurs, bone chips, thoracic, whatever.
Well, how about this? The Mets today announced that Bartolo Colon was on the All-Star team, taking Madison Bumgarner's place. That gave the Mets 4 All-Stars. Well, 2 of those 4 have come out of this game.
Yeah.
Yoenis Cespedes left the game with a quad injury, and now Syndergaard comes out of the game in the 5th inning, and this night could not be going much worse as far as the Mets are concerned. Well, so now Seth Lugo makes his 2nd big league appearance.
Well, just a rags to riches stories for this young right-hander. 34th round draft pick by the Mets out of Centenary College in Louisiana.
He inherits a 2-2 count on Jason Worth with 2 out and nobody on. And Worth takes just outside, ball 3. If whatever happens in this at bat, it'll be charged to Lugo. Daniel Murphy would be next if Worth keeps the inning going. And he walked him. So Lugo comes in, throws 2 out of the strike zone, and Lugo is charged with the walk. The 4th given up by Met pitching tonight. That'll get Murphy a turn at bat with a man on. Murph drilled a double to left center to drive in a run in the 3rd. His 60th RBI of the season, his 15th of those 60 against the Mets. And Lugo throws his first strike. Seth Lugo worked as both a starter and a reliever in Las Vegas this year. Worked to an ERA of 6.55. Takes just outside, ball and a strike. Daniel Murphy going to his 2nd All-Star game this year. He went to 1 as a Met.
Certainly deserving. What a season.
His best season.
Yes.
Curveball pulled foul. Murph with his home run last night, his 15th, now is a new career high in home runs. Hit 14 last year for the Mets. That was his career high. And then, of course, very famously added half a dozen more when it mattered the most. I mean, can you think of other players like Murph who have had this kind of mid-career transformation into being a power hitter at this level after never having been before?
Well, in a season or a completely turned, you know, obviously we can't forecast the future. Good pitch inside. Garrett, I have to think on that one a bit.
I mean, he has remade himself. Lugo gets him looking, though. We're halfway through. 3-0 Washington.
It is hard to hide my enthusiasm. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed all around here, you know, just checking everything out and enjoying it and soaking it all in. If that's able to rub off on some guys and kind of remind them of their first times coming up and how special this really is to be playing here, then that's great, and I'm glad that I can help out in that way.
2 weeks in the big leagues, and they haven't wiped the smile off Brandon Nimmo's face yet. First-round pick from Wyoming.
I like that.
Had himself a great time.
Bright-eyed, bushy tail. I like that.
Trap door.
I feel very covert here.
The knothole gang.
We got Fellini in the chair tonight.
As Drupal Cabrera leads off the home fifth against Steven Strasburg, who's held the Mets hitless so far. He's got 10 2/3 consecutive hitless innings under his belt in his 2 starts back from the disabled list. It has been quite a run for Strasburg, who's trying to go to 12-0 on the season. And he's got a 3-0 lead in the 5th. Cabrera struck out his first time up, and he takes it low 1-1. So we talked a little bit off the air about mid-career transformation of a good hitter into a power hitter.
I like your choice because he was a clean example.
Well, I got 2 of them.
Palmeiro comes to mind for me, but we know how that came about.
How about Paul O'Neill?
Going over to Yankee Stadium.
That helped.
Yep.
How about Joe Morgan?
Yep.
He also got an improvement in ballpark going from the Astrodome to the Riverfront.
Astrodome was the Grand Canyon of baseball. That ballpark was 396 in the gaps, and I believe 421 in dead central. 340 down the lines. It's a huge park.
Joe Morgan, to me, though, always had greatness. It just, you know, took a little bit of time. Daniel Murphy had established himself as a certain hitter.
Right.
And now for the part of last year, October of last season in the post, and this year, he's a totally different hitter.
It's stunning what he's done.
It really is.
And you know, he'll give Kevin Long some of the credit, but give all the credit to Murph for being willing to make that change. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, most hitters who've established themselves in as good big league hitters are not going to be jumping at the opportunity to make a change, right?
Agreed, 100%.
Cabrera gets under one to deep right field. Back goes Harper, back near the wall. It's out of here. As Drupal Cabrera gets the Mets on the board and snaps Strasburg's hitless streak. Second in 2 nights for Cabrera, his 12th of the year, and it's 3-1.
That was a bomb.
3-0 lead, 5th inning, 3-2 count. Fastball up.
I don't know where Harper was going. I mean, that ball off the facing.
Right off the corner of the sector spiders. So that gets the Mets going, and now Nimmo takes outside. Mets home run means $2,000 for no kid hungry enough to provide 20,000 healthy meals courtesy of City. It certainly gets the crowd going.
Sure does.
And that's lined the other way, a base hit for Nimmo. So back-to-back base hits against Strasburg, who had not allowed a hit in 10 2/3 innings.
Nimmo's really shortened up on the swing, and that's going right with it. That's beautiful.
This crowd wants to go crazy.
Well, they got Rene Rivera at the plate, and you know who on deck. That's it out to right field. Harper has this one measured. And that's the first out of the inning.
Oh, Babe Florence.
Well, listen to the crowd, because they'll tell you who's coming up. Home runs in his last 5 games for the king of Flushing.
First pitch fastball last night, his home run off Oliver Perez, the left-hander. Four of the 5 home runs he's hit in the last 5 games come off the left-hander. And that was a first pitch fastball out over the plate, up. Second tank. You go, Wilmer.
He's 2 for 9 against Strasburg in his career. Grounded foul.
Tough. Oh.
Ever chant your name like that?
I'm going to get Tim mad at me.
No, come on. It's his birthday yesterday.
I know, I'm only kidding. All in good fun.
Nimmo at first and 1 out. Takes a rip at a fastball, 1-2. The Cabrera home run, the 23rd that the Mets have hit on this homestand, which extends what is already the most home runs the Mets have hit on any homestand in their history. The old record was 20. That was on a 13-game homestand at Shea in 2000. They've got 23 inside of 9 games on this homestand.
And counting.
Fastball away.
1-2 coming. That's it out to right field along the line, slicing and foul.
Gary, you mentioned something earlier before the game about the pace of the home runs this year in Major League Baseball.
Well, I mean, Major League Baseball's on the pace to outstrip last year's home run total by 1,000. 1,000.
Jeez, that's strong evidence, Counselor.
It's evidence of something, just not sure what it is. And the last week, Wilmer's been right in the middle of it. A week ago, he had 3 home runs for the year. He has 5 in the last 5 games. Now with a high fastball, and that's strikeout number 7 for Strasburg.
I have been impressed with Strasburg's willingness to throw the heater tonight. He has predominantly thrown the cheddar, and he's bringing it, and it's just setting everything else up.
Now Reyes is 0 for 2, grounded on and struck out. Nimmo at first with 2 down. Let's have their first 2 hits of the game here in the 5th inning. Reyes, who homered last night, takes a fastball for a strike.
Yes, his first home run as a Met coming back. That was a high changeup over the middle off of Giolito, the starter.
By the way, Lucas Giolito got sent back to the minor leagues today as the Nats replenish their bench. Reyes fouls off the curveball, 0-2. Here's your 4th, 5th inning recap. There's been a lot to talk about. Both Noah Syndergaard and Yoenis Cespedes have left this game because of injury for the Mets. Steven Strasburg trying to go 12-0 on the season, working with the lead as Asdrubal Cabrera just homered for the only Met run. Clint Robinson homered earlier to give the Nats the first lead. Strasburg ahead on Reyes, 0-2.
Chris Spire giving signs, former Giant shortstop.
Charge of the defense.
Dusty has a nice coaching staff.
And Reyes breaks his bat and rolls one out to Murphy and makes the play from a knee to retire the side. Asdrubal Cabrera, though, gets the Mets on the board. Mets' first hit of the game is yet another Met home run. 12th of the year for Cabrera, his 2nd of the series. 3-1 Nats after 5. Horizon trivia question. We asked who holds the franchise record, Montreal and Washington, for batting average in a season. And it was Big Vlad. Bryce Harper leads off and tops one about 3 inches. Rivera on it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Vladimir Guerrero, Hall of Famer.
Yes.
I'd have to look over his numbers. Had a great career, that's for sure.
And he was a defensive force as well.
Yeah. Could hit anything from the treetops to his shoe tops.
Thou shalt not pass.
Did he have career-shortening injury, or did he have a long?
He had a long career.
Okay.
Long. So he went to the American League after he.
That's right. Oh, and if he went to the American League, that's when he lost me.
Missed out in the postseason. 94 with the strike, of course. Clock out.
I love that you are so blithely disdainful of the American League.
He's a senior circuit guy.
We're sending you to Detroit later this year.
I understand you are.
1-1 to Ramos.
And I've been to Cleveland.
Vladimir Guerrero, lifetime .318 hitter.
Oh boy.
Lifetime .379 on base percentage. Lifetime .553 slugging percentage.
Home runs.
449 home runs.
RBI.
1,496.
I think he. How many runs scored?
1,328.
In.
Very nice. That's all you need. Why did they go through this process? Just have Gary read you the numbers, and you can go like Caesar, up, yay or nay.
American League MVP. I know that doesn't count for you. In 2004, nine-time All-Star.
How many years did he play?
He played 16 years. I mean,
that's a career. How many hits?
2590.
He's in.
I think he's in.
How many? He got some Gold Gloves too, correct? Did he not?
I don't think he did. No, he won a whole bunch of Silver Sluggers, but no Gold Gloves.
Okay.
But he did win an MVP.
77.
He didn't tie for it either.
Oh wow.
Oh,
ouch.
Is that why I'm not in?
3-2 to Ramos. Well, my figuring is if Stargell's in, you should be in. You tied him.
Well, I please. Willie had how many home runs did Willie hit? Was he in the 500?
Or
not quite.
Something.
Yeah, not quite 500.
Three and 2 to Ramos with 1 out. And he flies 1 out to left center. Nimmo over. 2 out. Let's check in with the studio. Justine Ward has a game break brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Jose Fernandez now 25-1 at Marlins Park, and this year 11-4, 2.52. Having himself another terrific year.
There you see the big shift for Robinson, who's hit the 2-run blast. That's the difference in the game right now. Back in the 2nd inning.
Pirates and Cubs. Pirates just went ahead 6-4 in the 7th. Another rough day for Jake Arrieta. Cubs have lost 13 of 18. Cardinals beat the Pirates yesterday to go back into 2nd place.
Cardinals are winning 2-1 in Milwaukee in the 6th.
Grounded into the shift. Reyes playing on the right side. That's a 5-3 put out to retire the side. 5-3, 4. 3-1 in the 6th. Our Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Curtis Granderson takes outside from Steven Strasburg, who finally cracked in the 5th inning, gave up a home run to Asdrubal Cabrera. Granderson's been on base with both of Strasburg's walks tonight. Granderson must be seeing it really well right now, because he has been working deep counts. He's been getting on base 9 times in his last 11 plate appearances. He's reached base. 1-2 to Granderson. Juan Lagares on deck, and then Neil Walker. And Grandy goes down on the fastball. 8 strikeouts for Strasburg. And here are a few of them.
Well, other than the changeup, he's had every pitch strike out a Mets hitter. Fastball right by Cespedes, the curveball to Loney, another curveball to Cabrera. Not even close to the plate on Thor. A little bit of everything. Fastballs, curveballs, and cut sliders.
6 of 8 on the breaking ball.
Yep.
So 1 out. Now Lagares up for the 2nd time. Yoenis Cespedes left the game in the 4th inning with a strained right quad after leaping for a ball that came off the wall off the bat of Daniel Murphy. Slider off the plate, 1-1. So the Mets have had 2 of their all-stars forced to leave this game because of injury. Still no word on Noah Syndergaard and why he left the game in the 5th. But this has been a day, other than Bartolo Colon being named to the All-Star team, of unrelenting bad news for the Mets. Starting with the announcement that Matt Harvey would undergo season-ending surgery. Surgery will take place sometime next week in St. Louis. Lagares goes down on strikes on the changeup, and Ramos makes the toss for the 9th strikeout for Strasburg.
It's the one pitch he hasn't got a strikeout on was the changeup. We just showed the package. We can add that one. You know what's interesting about Strasburg, when we first saw him, of course, he burst on the scene with those 14 strikeouts of the Pittsburgh Pirates in his first game started at home for the Washington Nationals. But after that, he had some outstanding years. There was a lot of turmoil because they cut him off and didn't let him pitch in the postseason, and you know that kind of, I don't know, it separated him, it seemed, from the ball club. But the one thing I've seen now is a guy who's totally in charge, great body language, just execution or executioner tonight.
Sets the Mets down in order in the 6th. On to the 7th we go. 3-1 Washington. You can win a chance to join us in the booth and call the Mets game on SNY. Just go to sny.tv/Kidcaster, where you can video audition online for a chance to win the SNY Kidcaster contest, presented by New York's 529 College Savings Program. Well, Seth Lugo's been effective through an inning and a third in relief in back of Noah Syndergaard, who was forced out of the game because of an apparent injury in the 5th inning. Anthony Rendon has walked and grounded out 0 for 1. So Lugo's now worked 3 1/3 innings in the big leagues in his 2 outings and yet to allow a run. And trying to keep the Mets around in this game against Steven Strasburg, who's been right on top of his game. Strasburg due up 3rd in the inning. I think Seth Lugo's ever met Robert Parrish.
Maybe at like an alumni event or something.
Most famous athletic alum of Centenary University. Just off the corner, 2-2.
Robert was one of those 7-footers that had that high arcing jump shot.
He and Kevin McHale together on that front line for the Celtics.
That was the original Twin Towers.
I thought that was Elijah Wan and Sampson.
Yep.
Trey Blevins up in the bullpen. Three and 2 to Rendon, leading off in the 7th. And he waits that one away.
Yeah, the front line was McHale, Parrish, and Bird.
How tall was McHale?
McHale was, boy, 6'11".
With or without his shoulders.
Yeah.
He created space better than any guy that size.
He was awkward too,
Yeah.
but he got it done.
He was properly awkward.
Long arms.
Like a better version of Phil Jackson. 3-2, and the breaking ball hit down to 3rd. Reyes grabs it in the webbing and throws out Rendon. It's the hardest chance that Jose has had since his move to 3rd base.
Almost let the floodgates open there, unless I'm mistaken. Almost.
Yeah,
Wasn't sure he had it.
he looked behind him.
Ball gets to you quicker there. Still learning. The 5 in a row retired by Lugo. Now he faces Danny Espinosa. Espinosa up twice, struck out both times against Syndergaard. 0 for 6 in the series with 5 strikeouts. But that's Espinosa. I mean, he was on a tremendous hot streak. He can hit a lot of home runs. Runs up as though to bunt, takes the curveball outside. 2-0. Curveball for a strike.
Nice maturity and poise there by Lugo to get back in the count. Now you can sink something away and get your ground ball.
Wants it up.
Too high, 3-1.
I don't like the 2-1 fastball up out of the strike zone, because if he doesn't swing at it, you know, you're 3-1. Got to massage something into the strike zone to make him swing at it.
– 3-1 curveball. So he threw him a 2-0 curve and then a 3-1 curve.
I like that.
I insist.
Insistent on the curve. And it's just outside, ball 4. Second walk given up by Lugo. Take a drive around the majors brought to you by Chevrolet. Another rough outing for Jake Arrieta. 6 earned runs in 6 innings. Pirates lead 7-4 in the 8th. Jose Fernandez now 25-1 at home. And Vince Velasquez pitching for the Phillies tonight. They trail the Rockies after 5.
He's been out for some time, right? So
I think it's his
second start
back, yeah. So now Strasburg looking to bunt. And fouls off the first one. Strasburg 5 hits, 3 sacrifices this year. The Nats only have 4 hits tonight, but they got a 2-run homer from Clint Robinson in the second, a run scoring double from Daniel Murphy in the third, and they have not had a hit since. Syndergaard left after 4 2/3, 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Lugo's been on ever since. Ball and a strike to Strasburg. That's a long set of signs.
Sure is.
Reyes not all that close at third.
That's a good choice. Throw over to see if Strasburg tipped his hand.
I mean, do they have a particularly complicated set of signs? Stopped by Rivera, 2-1.
Well, I told you when I was a young kid with the Cardinals, Preston Gomez was our third base coach in '76. And every player had his own set of signs. So if there was a bunt and the runner's on first and second, he had to give 3 separate bunt signs to the 3 individuals that would be involved in the play. And he did it quick.
Did he have a cheat sheet?
He just knew it.
That's crazy.
I love the story that Davey Johnson tells Bobby Valentine when he was the third base coach. Davey gets a job in '84. Calls him in the office. He says, Davey, I got the signs. Here's the bunt. Boom, boom, boom. He goes through like 7 of the different signs. Davey goes, that isn't going to work. These are baseball players. We got to simplify these signs up, Bobby. And finally, it was the bunt was Bobby going to the belt. The steal to the cap. Oh, sorry. The sleeve was the steal. Bunt was
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bunt was to the belt. And the hit and run was what? I don't know.
What was the indicator?
Well, it changed. That's the one thing that would change all the year. The indicator.
So keep it simple.
And if you wanted to wipe it off, he'd wipe his chest. I mean, it couldn't get any simpler.
3-1 to Strasburg, and he gets the bunt down. Lugo will let Flores handle it. 3-4 on the sacrifice. Espinosa at second with 2 out.
Beautiful bunt.
Classic. See how he gets down almost on his right knee, touching the ground to get as low as he can. Make sure he pushes the ball where he wants to. Good job by Wilmer calling Lugo off. He doesn't know what kind of fielder he is.
Well, with the left-hand hitter Ben Revere coming up, Lugo's work is done. Nice job by Seth Lugo, pressed into service when Noah Syndergaard had to leave the game in the 5th. He goes 2 innings without allowing a hit, and Jerry Blevins will come in. This pitching change is brought to you by Empire City Casino. Mets. Kelly Johnson will play second base. He'll bat in the number 5 spot where the pitcher had been. Neil Walker comes out and Jerry Blevins goes into his number 4 spot on the order.
Well, the reason for the double switch is you're hoping Blevins can retire Revere, and then he has to get through Murphy, Harper, and maybe Robinson in the next inning.
Espinosa at second with 2 out. Revere 0 for 3 tonight. Blevins faced just 1 batter last night. Came in after Bartolo Colon was knocked out in the 5th, and he walked Clint Robinson.
Very shallow outfield by the Mets, particularly Nimmo in left.
Fastball inside to Revere.
You can see right there, Nimmo very shallow, playing to the opposite field. Straight up in center is Lagares, and Granderson, I think, is doing a little cheat there because of his arm.
Revere 3 for 13 in his career against Blevins. They would have faced each other in the American League when Jerry was with Oakland and Revere was with Minnesota. We have a new sound on our Meadowlands spot. It's Mr. Ed.
Oh, that's funny.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. You see, Wilbur just passed away.
Yeah, he did. He did.
In Titan, it's 3-0 to Revere.
You got Jason Worth in the on-deck circle. He has come in to put the fire out here by getting a left-hand hitter, not the veteran right-hand hitter.
Well, nobody's up in the Mets bullpen, so if Revere keeps the inning going, Blevins will have to face Worth. Blevins walked his only batter last night, now behind Revere 3-0. And there's a strike. You have to be impressed with what the Mets got from Seth Lugo tonight. Tough spot for a rookie, second big league appearance, has to warm up when everybody's concerned about Syndergaard, and he threw 2 hitless innings. And now it's 3-2 on Revere.
That's the right way to do it by Blevins. Now he's got the 3-2. Just throw him away and pitch him away and play him away. Simple as that.
Two coming, and Revere slaps one down to third. That's a foul ball. Would have been very tough to throw out Revere with his speed. Espinosa at second with 2 down. 3-1 Washington, 7th inning. 7th pitch of the at bat coming to Revere, and it's on the outside corner. He got him looking. Blevins comes back from 3-0 to strike out Revere. On the black will take us to the 7th inning stretch. 3-1 Washington.
Good lawyer. Good lawyer.
SNY play ball, and the New York Jets are looking to help local leagues in need with grants, equipment donations, clinics, and special Jets experiences. Does your league need assistance? Apply today at sny.tv/playball. Kelly Johnson just came in on a double switch. Leads off against Steven Strasburg in the home seventh.
Got a pinch hit double last night. He's been terrific off the bench.
Tries to hold the swing on the curveball.
3 for 8 off the bench. Sorry, Gary. 3 for 8 off the bench as a Met with 2 home runs, a double, and 3 RBI. That's as a pinch hitter.
Not a pinch hitting assignment here.
Correct.
He fights one off. 2 for 8 in his career against Strasburg, as Dribble Cabrera, who homered for the only Met run, is on deck, and then Brandon Nimmo for the Mets in the seventh. Mets have managed just 2 hits against Strasburg. A home run by Cabrera, a single by Nimmo. And Johnson shatters his bat. The barrel goes flying into the stands as Strasburg throws out Johnson for the first out. That barrel of the bat sailed about 10 rows deep between home plate and the Mets dugout.
It landed into a aisle where there's no one sitting. Thank goodness.
Fastball in, ties him up.
Nothing but a twig in his hands. Got to get it to the authenticator.
Well, you certainly don't want a fan to have that kind of object to give him a regular bat.
That's for firewood.
Yep.
Well, this broke up the no-hit bid. Cabrera's second in 2 days. He's been red hot. 9 hits in his last 20 at bats. Now 12 home runs on the year for his Dribble. And thinks about a bunt with Rendon playing back. Not as severe a shift as we've seen sometimes against his Dribble when he has bunted for a hit. Strasburg now over 90 pitches and fires one that's foul tipped by Cabrera. 1-2.
Still throwing 95 and 96, what he was throwing in the first.
Threw 109 pitches in his last start. That was his first start off the disabled list. Remember, though, it wasn't an arm problem for Strasburg. It was an upper back strain, so they didn't have any qualms about pushing him that far. In the air to center field, and Revere is there. 2 out. So since the back-to-back hits by Cabrera and Nimmo, Strasburg has responded by retiring 8 in a row.
He has been terrific tonight and throwing predominantly fastballs.
Nimmo had a base hit to left field in the 5th inning. 1 for 2 on the night. Well, that was Strasburg coming into the night, and that's only gotten better.
Yeah.
Trying to go to 12-0, looking for his 15th straight winning decision. His last loss was to the Mets in Washington last September. Since then, 14-0 in 19 games. It's the longest streak of winning decisions in Expos/Nationals history, and the 3rd longest streak in the major leagues in the last 10 years. Jake Arrieta had a 20-game streaks now earlier this season. Ivan Nova won 15 straight in 2011 and 12.
Well, when Harvey was struggling earlier in the year, it was Strasburg last year's numbers, that 5 and 5, 5.16, that a lot of people were turning to and saying, hey, let him keep pitching, he'll turn it around just like Strasburg. Well, that won't be the case now.
He was was interesting on Harvey to see the quotes today from his agent Scott Boras, basically implying that the feeling, the numbness that Harvey had that he had felt to some extent all season, and that it just got worse recently. Now, the Mets are saying he didn't say anything about it until after his last start, but Boras is implying it's something that at least was recognizable to Harvey earlier in the season.
It's a pretty good secret to keep.
Yep.
There's no secrets ever that are kept around here.
Nimmo stays alive. Well, once the Mets heard about the numbness in his fingers and the Mets team doctors found out about it, they immediately sent Matt to the specialist in St. Louis, and he determined that indeed Matt needed surgery for thoracic outlet syndrome, and he'll have that surgery next week and be hopefully ready to start at the beginning of next year. Talk about a 4-month recovery time. And that just missed ball 4. Strasburg thought he had it, and he does a double take at Toby Basner. That's his 3rd walk of the night.
Well, usually when a pitcher is throwing the kind of game that Strasburg is throwing, he usually gets this pitch.
Well, he's been calling a high strike. The letters all night, didn't get the call there, and the Mets are a potential 1 swing away from tying this ball game.
Sean Kelly getting up. Kelly was filling in as the closer when Jonathan Papelbon was on the disabled list, but now Kelly back to being the 8th inning guy and getting up here with 2 out in the 7th.
Good call to send your pitching coach out with the reaction from Strasburg. He just telling him, hey, you're 1 out away.
Is it up?
Yep. See, that's the way to do it.
Well,
you're not going to get anybody angry.
That's what we were talking about. That is certainly not the reaction he would have had 3-4 seasons ago. Great maturity on the part of Strasburg.
Well, Rene Rivera will step in, tying run at the plate in a 3-1 game. Rene's got 3 home runs this year. 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of fly ball outs. Nimmo at first with 2 out. Rivera takes it high.
Nice at bat by Nimmo to keep the inning going.
If Rivera can keep it going, Wilmer Flores would be next. Strasburg now up over 100 pitches, and that's a letter high strike. 1-1. Rivera takes a rip. 1-2. Rene Rivera will never hit for a high average. When he goes to the plate, he has only one thing in mind:
swing for a homer. The most impressive part with Strasburg, and even though his breaking stuff has been off the hook, his ability to use his fastball. He's shown no fear.
You're right.
He's ahead on Rivera. 1-2. And Rene lays off the breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ball in the dirt, catches it in the glove. Sorry, gets off the glove into his armpit, catches it, and then was going to throw to first if Nimmo had strayed too far up first base.
Two coming, and Rivera takes it off the plate, and now it's 3-2. Oliver Perez joins Sean Kelly in the Nats bullpen. I didn't think we'd see Ollie at all tonight after his long outing last night.
I don't think Dusty trusts the other two, Gare, in a tight ball game, an important game.
Nimmo gets set to run. 3-2, 2 out. And Rivera fouls back the high fastball. Might have swung at ball 4. just say that Dusty likes veteran players?
Yes, he does.
They called up Trey Turner, their best prospect today, and Dusty said, well, you know, this isn't a tryout camp. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming to Rivera, and he fouls away another one.
Well, this is definitely going to be the last batter for Strasburg if he loses him. But he certainly, I don't think, is going to go the next inning.
Well, he got pulled with 2 out in the 7th inning with a no-hitter working in his last start at 109 pitches. He's now at 107. There's Max Scherzer, who's going to pitch tomorrow night. Pitching coach Mike Maddox looking on, close eye on Strasburg. Quality turn it back here for Rivera. 3-2 coming, and he grounds one to short. Espinosa makes the throw on target, and that retires the side. Strasburg gets through 7 with just the 1 run allowed. We go to the 8th, 3-1 Washington. Nats took an early 3-0 lead against Noah Syndergaard, who had to leave because of apparent injury in the 5th inning. Still waiting for word on what befell Syndergaard, but Seth Lugo picked up from there with a couple of hitless innings. Jerry Blevins got his only man in the 7th, and Blevins will stay on for the 8th to face the heart of the Washington batting order: Worth, Murphy, Harper, Ramos. Steven Strasburg apparently done after 7. Allowed just 1 run and 2 hits tonight. Well, we just got word on Noah Syndergaard. The Mets are saying that he left the game with arm fatigue, not elbow related.
Really?
Jason Worth takes a strike.
Ronnie, going to weigh in on that? Or is that asking?
Yeah, that's
too vague.
On my pay grade. I'll have to comment on that.
Sorry to put the pressure on you.
I know. I wilted again.
Quickly 0-2 on Worth.
You know, who knows what that means, you know? I mean, it didn't seem like he wanted to come out. But, you know, he's such a valuable commodity, of course.
Well, the thing about that, it's vague enough that it could be nothing or it could be something.
Yeah.
And there's just no way of knowing. I think the Mets were right to say that the elbow wasn't involved because we've all been following his elbow, and the natural tendency is to believe that it's related to the bone spur, but apparently not.
But this, I would think, would certainly change what Terry Collins said today in the presser, that he was absolutely going to find a place in the All-Star game for Syndergaard to pitch, I would think you'd have second thoughts now.
I would certainly think if he comes out of his last start before the All-Star game with arm fatigue that he's not going to pitch on Tuesday. And the curveball fouled at the plate by Worth. Already you've had Strasburg replaced on the All-Star team by Scherzer. Bumgarner replaced on the All-Star team by Cologne. Who knows? Maybe there's a spot for Jacob deGrom. Despite his not so gaudy one-loss record, he certainly has pitched well enough.
I think Drew Pomeranz in San Diego has to get a look if anyone else gets hurt.
Yeah, he pitched another terrific game last night for San Diego. Shut out the Dodgers for 7 innings.
Double bubble.
One-two coming, and it's just inside to Worth. 2-2. Daniel Murphy on deck, then Bryce Harper. So Blevins with a tough row to hoe here in the 8th, trying to keep this game where it is.
He's got to keep it where it is. You know, Syndergaard after the 2-run home run did a fine, an all right job of keeping it just a 3-0. Lugo probably is the MVP coming in and doing what he did. Blevins has got to hold it, because then you put your team in a bloop and a blast away from tying the ball game up.
Ninth pitch of the at bat coming from Blevins to Worth. And there'll be another. Blevins had to work very hard against the only batter he faced in the 7th. Struck out Revere on the 7th pitch of the at bat, and now he's about to throw his 10th pitch to Worth. And he still has to deal with Murphy and Harper. There's nobody up behind him in the Mets bullpen. This inning completely belongs to Blevins. Another 3-2. And Worth pops it up foul. That'll come back out of play. And the battle continues.
Very few hitters see more pitches than Jason Worth. Works deep counts all the time.
It just seems like Blevins realizes he doesn't want to get the leadoff walk. He's just 3-2, pouring in fastballs, not throwing that hook.
And the curveball pulled foul. 11 pitches deep and still going. Eric Goodell now springs to work in the Mets bullpen. Pitch coming to Worth, and he pops this one up. It might stay in play. Granderson over near that line, and it comes back a little bit, and he makes the catch. One away. Let's check in with the studios. Justine Ward has another game break brought to you by the New York State Smokers Quit Line. So on one side of town in Chicago, Jake Arrieta gives up 6 runs in 6 innings. On the other side of town, Chris Sale, going for his 15th win, gives up 8 runs in 5 innings against the Braves. With Daniel Murphy taking a strike.
How about 2 left-handed hitters went deep? Freeman and Markakis off Sale.
Wow. Well, you know, the other guy took him deep, his old battery mate Tyler Flowers,
who's really been hitting for the Braves lately.
Had the big hit for them last night in the 11th inning. And Blevins quickly ahead on Murphy, 0-2.
Those pitchers, they stick together.
Got a lot of idle time on their hands, Keith.
Yes.
And Murph takes strike 3 call. 3 pitches. Murph took them all. And Blevins has his second strikeout. Second time in a row Murph's been called out on strikes.
That's a paint your wagon right here.
Painting the corners. Stop by your local Sherwin-Williams store for all of your painting needs. Or just ask Jerry Blevins.
Exactly.
You know, he might not help you move, but he can paint your house.
Keith will help you move.
Well, I mean, his name is Jerry.
That's right.
Here's Bryce Harper. He takes a strike.
Harper took Blevins deep in Washington in that 3-game sweep.
Some good-looking batting gloves. I guess if you're the MVP, you get whatever you want.
Well, the only thing he didn't get to use his special 4th of July bat. That was a good curveball by Blevins. 0-2.
Takes a healthy cut, does he not?
Well, he struck out Murphy on 3 pitches. Harper takes a curveball in the dirt. 1-2. Who are you going to call?
Oh, I see what Harper's got working. He's got the matching batting gloves with the spikes. That's when you're really styling.
And the sleeve.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Keith. That's right up your alley.
Matches the uniform.
Yeah, if he played for Wake Forest. One-two coming. And it's fouled. Harper's 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Nats will be going to their bullpen in the bottom of the 8th. Probably Sean Kelly. Nats haven't had a hit since the 3rd when Murphy doubled in their 3rd run. One-two. Right back to Blevins. Trickles away. He's on it. And the throw is too late and off the glove of Flores, and Harper is safe. Blevins retrieved and threw that very awkwardly. And Harper able to get aboard.
Well, Harper smells the hit here. Gets completely sawed off. It wasn't that awkward. It took way too long. He wound up and he beat it. If even Wilmer makes the play, he's got the base hit.
Some pitchers just can't throw on the run. They have to go into their full kind of motion to throw the baseball.
Well, they'll charge an error to Blevins for mishandling the ground ball.
He didn't really mishandle it. It was sawed him off. He came back as a changeup. He kind of blocked it. To me, that's a hit.
Me too.
So now Wilson Ramos 1 for 3 on the night. So Blevins, who did a lot of work to get ahead on Harper and get the comebacker, unable to seal the deal.
Oh, there went his bat.
Maybe not.
Looked like he was in position.
I'm with the official score now. My fault.
It's all right, Ron. Can't get him right all the time.
That's why we have Howie Carpenter here, so we don't have to make those choices. Blevins keeping it away from Ramos, and for the 3rd straight hitter, he gets ahead 0-2. Blevins about to throw his 30th pitch, being asked to get 4 outs tonight. Facing his old battery mate in Ramos. And he just missed outside. 1-2.
It missed. Let's see. Close. Didn't get the call.
30 pitches, the most Blevins has thrown in a game this year. His previous high was 24. So Blevins putting in a little overtime tonight. Harper at first with 2 out. And Ramos swings and misses. Rivera makes the toss, and that ends the inning. Some strong work by Jerry Blevins. Faces 5 batters in relief, strikes out 3 of the 5. Keeps the Mets within 2 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Concessions have certainly come a long way. Got your grilled sausage, got your Pablo Fritas. You know, back at Shea Stadium, we didn't have these kind of food options. Here's what we had. We had knishes for $0.25. We had the fish cake for 50 cents. You could get the shrimp basket with the fries for 85 cents.
It's a pretty warm day today. I think I'll take the 50-cent cigarettes.
What's Wilmer Flores leading off in the home 8th. Got the premium beer for just 55 cents. That's a lot for the pencil. 10 cents, and it's just a little nubby pencil they gave you.
Now, what would a premium beer be in those days, Gary?
You know, your Rheingold extra dry. Wilmer up for the second time, hits one down the right field line. Fair ball bouncing into the corner. Flores on his way to second, and Wilmer pulls in standing with an opposite field double. And the Mets are in business in the bottom of the 8th against Sean Kelly.
Well, it seems like Wilmer's always in the middle of something against the Nationals.
Well, what I like that Wilmer did here, he's a guy hitting 5 home runs in 5 games, and he's leading off an inning and not going for the home run. He's starting to get the rally going. That's enough for Strasburg. He's going to have to go in and
he can hardly watch.
And they're going to the trainer's room and have a couple of Rolaids. Nicely done, Wilmer.
4 and 5 in saves when he took over for Papelbon, who was out hurt with that intercostal. Now the 8th inning man again.
Now Reyes the tying run at the plate. Reyes 0 for 3 tonight, but 3 for 4 in his career against Sean Kelly. Strasburg went 7, allowed a run on 2 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, but he's out. And now the Mets trying to attack against Kelly and the Nats bullpen. And Reyes takes it out of the strike zone, 1-1. There's your StubHub Mets box score. And double by Flores, just the 3rd Met hit tonight. Cabrera homered for their only run. Cespedes left the game because of injury. Syndergaard left the game with arm fatigue. That's pulled toward the hole. Murphy rolls over and can't get Reyes. It's an infield hit. And the Mets have the tying runs on base and nobody out.
Well, nice effort by Murph. He just, once he does the double roll, you can forget getting Reyes.
One roll probably would have been sufficient. Dusty Baker's on his way out to the mound. He's got the left-hander in the bullpen, Oliver Perez, who had a season-high pitch count last night, and he's coming back in again to face Curtis Granderson. So the Mets rallying in the 8th, down 3-1, tying runs aboard. We'll be right back. Under rain. There's been plenty of rain falling on the Mets tonight, but they hope to use it to their advantage tonight against Oliver Perez.
Well, Perez last night threw 35 pitches and he gave a big 3-run home run to Flores.
And he gave up a double to Curtis Granderson, who's the first man to face him. Tying runs on base, nobody out.
And this is the dimension that Reyes brings to the Mets that they haven't had. The threat of the stolen base. Another thing for the pitcher to worry about. The shift is on Granderson.
Granderson doubled to left center against Ali last night. And he takes the fastball away for ball 1.
Oh, Ronnie, you said it. What a game to steal.
Right. Reyes got picked off by Solis, I believe, in last night's game, the left-hander.
Started to run, then stopped. Something gets loose out in right center field, so we have to wait for that. It's raining pretty good right now. We had a 37-minute rain delay at the start. This is an official game, so Mets certainly do not want this game to be stopped. Flores at third, Reyes at first, nobody out. And Granderson takes a breaking ball and had him bailing out. It's a strike, 1-1.
Wow, that one could have, I think, curved around the inside corner. Maybe not.
Maybe Basner saw it as a strike.
Oh, right down the Piperoni.
And that one a little too far inside, 2-1. Juan Lagares is on deck, so this is probably a one-batter affair for Perez. They've got the right-hander Blake Trinan up in the bullpen. Behind Lagares is the pitcher's spot, and the Mets still have De Aza and Darno left on the bench. In tight with the fastball, and now it's 3-1 to Granderson. Has he been 3-1 every at bat in this series?
Yeah.
Granderson bloops one. Espinosa picks it, and that's the first out.
Boy, you got in that pots and pans there big time. 3-1. Wanted it away. Missed on the opposite side of the plate, opposite corner.
Well, that'll be the beginning and end of Oliver Perez's assignment for the night. Dusty Baker will bring in the right-hander Blake Trinan to face Juan Lagares. Still 3-1 Washington, tying runs on base in the 8th. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Blake Trinan comes in for Washington.
Well, he's got a lot of walks, but he is the one guy in that bullpen that can get the double play. He's got a great sinking fastball and slider. Maybe Reyes can take advantage of this and get second base.
Flores at third, Reyes the tying run at first. Juan Lagares up for the third time, came in for the injured Yoenis Cespedes in the 4th. Tying runs on base with 1 out. Lagares takes the sinker low and in for ball 1. The pitcher spot is due up next. Alejandro De Aza is out on deck, left-hand hitter, and Dusty Baker's got another lefty ready in the bullpen, Felipe Rivera. That's a running out of bench. And the Cespedes had to leave early. So De Aza and Darno, all that's left on the Mets bench.
And we'll see which option Dusty chooses.
Hit the other way and just foul.
Whoa, but guarding the line, Robinson. So that's a break for the Mets. Because that ball's fair, I think Robinson makes the play.
Yeah, he didn't get off the bag at all after holding against Reyes.
And we see a lot in today's game. You're guarding the line. And there's just no doubles in this situation here.
One and one to Lagares. And he hits a double play ball right at Murphy. The backhand flip, Espinosa the turn, and the 4-6-3 double play gets the Nats through the inning. Mets at first and third and nobody out. Reyes never tried to run, and that kept the double play in order for the Nats. And Trinan gets the double play ball he was looking for. Still 3-1. Gentlemen, here we go to the 9th inning with the Mets down 3-1. Eric Goodell will pitch the top of the 9th.
Well, Eric Goodell last outing was against the Miami Marlins. Remember, he gave up that big 3-run home run to Giancarlo Stanton.
And he'll face Clint Robinson, who already has a 2-run homer tonight. That's the difference in this game. And he hooks one in the air to shallow right center. Coming on is Granderson. 1 pitch and 1 out for Goodell in the top of the 9th. Go back and dissect that bottom of the 8th inning. 1st and 3rd and nobody out. You had the lefty in the game, Perez, to face Granderson, and then the righty in the game to face Trinan. Is that a situation where Reyes has to run, or is it one where he should have discretion?
I give him the benefit of the doubt with the lefty Oliver Perez on the mound. A little more difficult to get that big jump, but against the tall, lanky Blake Trinan, you know at some point with that sinker that Trinan's just trying to get the ball on the ground. So if you can get to second base, you know, you might not take the lead in that inning, but you certainly get a run on that ground ball from Lagares.
My feeling might be that Jose is not confident right now with all the missed time.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to, run you out of an inning. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Wet track, does that have anything to do with it?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
I mean, certainly his only stolen base quote-unquote attempt was last night when he started, stopped, and got caught going back into first, and it looked like, that was a sign of rust. Like he's not quite ready to be that base stealer.
So that might have been in the back of his mind, Gary.
Well, he's always been a daredevil kind of player. With the missed time, maybe not a daredevil right now.
Rendon is 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Jonathan Papelbon is getting ready in the Nationals bullpen. Mets will have the pitcher spot, then Kelly Johnson and Asdrubal Cabrera. So probably De Aza pinch hitting, and then Johnson, Cabrera. And Rendon takes the high splitter for strike 3. 2 out. SNY Super Slow Motion brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Garrett, just another quick consideration on that. We're talking about Jose for the potential to steal. You're also 2 runs down in a ball game.
Yeah.
And you got 1 out. You don't want to take yourself out of a rally. But fly ball makes it 3-2.
But that's the tying run. You want to get.
I understand, but you don't want to. If you're rusty and not confident, you don't want to run yourself out of a 1st and 3rd down 2 runs. Where if Lagares hits a fly ball, it's 3-2 down. You're 1 run down. Then you might want to try to steal. That would be a better situation. Tie ball game, same thing.
Stephen Drew is on deck. He'll pinch hit if Espinosa keeps the inning going. And Goodell misses low with the splitter, and he stopped the swing in time. 2-0. Espinosa's 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Well, the Met bullpen has been very solid. The Nats haven't had a hit since the 3rd inning. Syndergaard left in the 5th with what the Mets are calling arm fatigue. Seth Lugo threw 2 hitless innings. Jerry Blevins struck out 3 in an inning in the 3rd. And now Goodell's gotten the first 2 here in the 9th. But now he's behind Espinosa 3-0. His bullpen was splendid last night after Bartolo Colon left in the 5th inning. Antonio Bastardo getting a little boost.
Espinosa could be swinging here.
18 home runs this year for Espinosa. Batting with 2 out and nobody on. And he takes a strike. Right after the All-Star break, the Mets go to Philadelphia, which will be the first time that Eric and Tyler Goodell will be able to go head-to-head. Tyler, Rule 5 pick, playing the outfield for the Phillies. 3-2 now to Espinosa.
I'm assuming Tyler's the younger. of the Goodells. Am I wrong? Maybe I could be.
I'm not 100% certain. I know who the older Darno is.
Yeah.
3-2 coming. And the curveball in there. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Goodell and a 1-2-3 top of the ninth. 11 strikeouts for Met pitchers tonight. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the ninth. 2 runs down. Tonight's timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. What better than watching your hero and holding your hammer?
Awesome. He's a cute kid.
We go to the last of the ninth. Mets down 3-1. And 35-year-old Jonathan Papelbon comes out to try and save it for Washington.
The owner of 366 career saves. That's 10th all time for Papelbon.
Alejandro De Aza will be the first man to face him. De Aza off the bench to pinch hit. Then Kelly Johnson and Asdrubal Cabrera. So 3 left-handed bats against Papelbon. And De Aza takes the fastball off the plate for ball 1.
So really unfortunate last inning that Cespedes left the game. That double play by Lagares was Cespedes' slot in the order.
Cespedes left early with a strained quad. 1-1 to De Aza. De Aza appeared as a pinch hitter last night and struck out. 7 hits as a pinch hitter this year.
Watching Papelbon throw today as opposed to when he first came up and he just blew it 95, 96 miles an hour with a good split finger. He throws a little bit more 3/4, sinks the ball more, and he'll use his breaking ball and split finger more than he ever has before.
Came to the Nats last year. Created a bit of a tizzy in the Nats bullpen as they supplanted Drew Storen. Wound up the season with his hands around Bryce Harper's neck in the dugout. Blows one by De Aza, and it's 1-2. Trying to save it for Steven Strasburg. It would be Strasburg's 15th consecutive winning decision. And he'd get to 12-0 this year if Papelbon can seal the deal. 1-2 coming. And De Aza takes strike 3 call. Fastball on the inside corner. 1 out.
I agree. That caught a lot of the plate.
It's inside corner, and he's been calling that high strike, lettered strike, all night. It's got plenty of plate, and I think Toby Basner has called a heck of a game. As a hitter, you've been paying attention, that's been a strike all day long.
Goodell got a high strike on his curveball the last out in the top of the ninth.
Yep.
Now Kelly Johnson, who's hit a comebacker in his only at bat tonight. He came out on a double switch in the 7th. 0 for 9 in his career against Papelbon. And he takes high. All fastballs so far from Papelbon. Coming up tonight, Geico Sports Night after the post game. We'll update the injury situation for the Mets. It is extensive, and some basketball news as well. In the air, shallow left. And Jason Worth looking up. 2 out. So just like that, Papelbon has the first 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Mets are down to their final out for Asdrubal Cabrera, who's accounted for the only Met run tonight with a home run in the 5th inning against Strasburg.
And I was wrong. I said Papelbon would mix in his breaking pitches. He has thrown all fastballs so far.
Cabrera 1 for 3 in his career against Papelbon. Each team with only 4 hits tonight. Very different game than last night when there were 27 hits and 16 runs. In tight to Cabrera. If Asdrubal can keep it going, Brandon Nimmo would be next. Maybe Nimmo could play the role of Omir Santos or Jordani Valdespin. 2 guys with positive Met history against Jonathan Papelbon. 2-0 to Cabrera. Santos at Fenway. Valdespin in Philly. Travis d'Arnaud with the bat in his hands. Now it's 3-0 to Cabrera. Well, Asdrubal has to get his way on any way he can to get the Mets the tying run at the bat. So have to take at least 1 pitch here. And it's on the inside corner, 3-1. Seventeen saves this year for Papelbon, who missed some time on the disabled list with an oblique injury. And Cabrera pops it up into shallow left. Worth coming on, and the Nats win this one. Steven Strasburg goes to 12-0 on the season with 7 strong innings. The Mets lose Cespedes and Syndergaard to injuries in the course of the game on a day when Matt Harvey was shut down for the season with season-ending surgery. So a lost day all the way around for the Mets as the Nats win this game 3-1.
Well, the injury to Syndergaard will really be the one you want to talk about, although they've only said it's arm fatigue. Great job by the Mets bullpen. And Keith Zimmerman goes on the DL, and Clint Robertson's had 2 good days here.
Yes, he has 2 home runs. His 5th home run tonight. That was back in the 2nd inning on a down-and-in fastball. He pulled down the right field line. That was the difference in the ball game. A well-pitched game from both sides of both pitching staffs. Strasburg, just too much of him.
Game summary presented by Jeep. Strasburg's 15th straight winning decision. He's now 12-0 on the year. Syndergaard takes the loss, leaves in the 5th inning with arm fatigue. Cespedes comes out with a strained thigh, and the Nats even up the series with a 3-1 win. They now lead the Mets by 4 games in the NL East. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Citi, preferred card of the New York Mets, by Geico, the #1 insurer in the New York market, by Fios by Verizon. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Visit getfios.com today. By Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or online at mybobs.com. And by the Summer of Jeep celebration going on now. Final score tonight, the Nationals 3 and the Mets 1. Game 3 of the series on Fox tomorrow night. We're back with you on Pix 11 on Sunday afternoon for the final game of the series. Steven Matz against Gio Gonzalez. Our next game on SNY is a week from Friday when the Mets get back from the All-Star break to take on the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Coverage next Friday, 6 o'clock, right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, Doug Williams, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. Time for WB Mason Post Game Live with Gary Apple and Todd Zeal. Guys.